Namaste, myself Triveni Purana, Assistant Professor, Faculty Physiotherapy and Diagnostics. Today we are going to discuss about post-surgical physical therapy in neurosurgical procedures. First is early medical rehabilitation. By starting treatment early during hospitalization and by continuing the treatment in qualified institutions later on, raising the quality of patient's life and achieve higher levels of independence. Considering the high number of patients, the percentage of those referred to the university rehabilitations for treatment is low. We believe that a more precise evaluation of a patient's functional state after finishing additional treatment should be performed and more patients directed to the complex rehabilitation treatment. Recovery time after surgery is different for each individual. The goal of post-operative rehabilitation is to prevent complications and to maximize the patient's functional abilities. Early rehabilitation at institution is provided by a rehabilitation team consisting of the occupational therapist working together with physical therapist, and the consultant of physical and rehabilitation medicine is responsible for proper rehabilitation procedures used to help the patient return to normal activities. The rehabilitation procedures are started as soon as possible because the length of hospital stay is short and the time to achieve the goal is limited. The content, intensity, and frequency of the rehabilitation program are tailored to the individual patient's clinical needs. Patient and his relatives are also included in rehab team, while consultants of other specializations are included as needed. On the very first or post-operative day, provided that the control CT scan of the brain shows no significant post-operative hematoma or edema, we start with progressive mobilization. This is possible when the patient has good physical stamina and is without motor deficits. We evaluate the patient's independence in basic daily activities. An Karnofsky performance scale is used for evaluation of patient's functional abilities. The scale allows patients to be classified as to their functional impairment. The Karnofsky score runs from 100 to 0, where 100 shows perfect health and 0 indicates is death. The lower the score, the bigger the impairment. KPS may be used to determine the patient's prognosis or to measure changes in a patient's ability to function and is often used with patients suffering from malignant brain tumors. Often, the patients present with a cognitive deficit despite the lack of motor impairment. They would benefit from early neuropsychological treatment or at least early neuropsychological evaluation. However, this can rarely be achieved in the acute phase due to the lack of clinical psychologists in the hospital setting. Neuropsychological assessment helps to determine whether treatment in the form of cognitive rehabilitation may be useful after discharge from acute hospital. Outpatient programs to address cognitive deficits, including pharmacological strategies, shown beneficial. Patients who experience temporary or permanent speech difficulties require specialized therapy by the speech therapist. The speech therapist is invited into the rehab team early after the operation if speech and swallowing difficulties are detected, but sufficient patient's cooperation must be assured. Preliminary results of retrospective review focusing on neurological deficits after surgery during the past years shows that proportion of patients with persistent neurological deficit is substantial even after surgery, and in about 30% of patient neurological deficits could be identified at discharge. Neurological deficits can often be multiple. Patients with neurological deficits need special rehabilitation while they are in the acute hospital. Usually, the most important deficit for patients is motor impairment and problems with walking. Such a patient is bedridden and the resulting complications need to be prevented. In this setting, verticalization is very important and there are usually no contraindications for it. We use different equipment to help patients sit on their bed. The tilt table is used to achieve standing and the wheelchairs are used for sitting. With the wheelchair, we enable the patient to be driven out from the room and this has a positive effect on patient's well-being, preventing social isolation which may occur when the patient is constantly in bed and alone in the room. With the help of a chosen neurophysiotherapist technique, we opt to maintain a good passive range of movement in the joints of the limbs where active movement is not possible. When increased muscle tone is present, these techniques also contribute to its normalization and help the patient to start using paralytic limbs. Therapist evaluates and treats difficulties related to self-care and daily living and plays an important role in helping the patient develop new ways of doing different daily tasks such as dressing, undressing, washing, eating, and this all is done by the occupational therapist. While in the acute hospital, the patient is provided with individually tailored accessories to facilitate functioning at home, including thickened cutlery, handles, equipment to assist with putting on footwear. Additional instructions are provided to the patient and their relatives in order to improve the organization of daily living at home. Rehabilitation does not end with the patient's discharge from the acute hospital. Hospital stays are short. The average length of stay in acute hospital is 9 days, which means that the rehab goals are not fully met. Patients are either discharged home or transferred to other hospital and most of them must continue with additional treatment. Direct transferal of patient from acute hospital to other institutions, since most patients need further treatment, transfers are thus only possible after the first treatment is complete. Some patients remain very weak, dependent and immobile due to the extent of neurological and cognitive impairments. When it comes to extensive neurological deficit and disturbances of consciousness with poor cooperation, our actions are mainly focused on preventing complications arising from constantly lying in bed. Special emphasis is put on respiratory physiotherapy. It is necessary to regularly turn the patient, put him in proper positions and perform neurophysiotherapy. Electronic devices that enable joint movements and prevent contractures can also be used. Even patients in the minimally conscious state can use the wheelchair, provided it has been adapted to accommodate for passive sitting. Patients in the minimally conscious state can be stimulated with different sensory stimuli in the appropriate environmental settings, minimizing additional disruptive stimuli from the surroundings. Relatives help in picking the appropriate stimuli and can also perform sensory stimulation during visiting hours. It is extremely important to educate the family to be able to offer good care and support to the patient, especially when the patients are bedridden and dependent in daily activities, needing the help of other people. It is also necessary to arrange for proper utilities the patient will need at home, such as an adapted bed, wheelchair, walker, or lift for easier handling with bedridden patients. Such equipment can be prescribed when the patient is discharged from the hospital. After surgery, the patient may need help recovering. Rehabilitation specialists, such as therapists, provides assistance. Physical therapist assesses the patient's ability to walk safely and climb stairs before being released from the hospital. They may also help the patient improve strength and balance. Whereas occupational therapist will assess the patient's ability to perform activities of daily living. Speech language pathologist, if the patient's brain affects speech language, pathologist will evaluate problem with speech and language or thinking. They may also evaluate the patient for swallowing disorders too. Patient's doctor and therapy team will help the patient prepare to leave the hospital. Some patients require additional rehab after that. While going home, patient, before being released from the hospital, doctors and nurses will teach the patient and his family about home care and what to expect during the healing process. Example of spine surgery. The type of spine surgery you will have determine how long you will need to stay in the hospital and how much help you will need in and out of the hospital after surgery. Many procedures for the spine only require 1 to 3 nights in the hospital. Now what can patient expect while in the hospital? From the moment spine surgery is completed, the nursing staff will begin monitoring condition. When anesthesia begins to wear off, patient will be taken to a hospital room until patient are ready to go home. On day 1, the day after surgery is considered day 1. Some spine surgeries require that patient wear a brace for a period of time afterward. If so, keep brace on until surgeon specifically instruct patient to remove it. Patient may need encouraged to stand and sit with assistant if needed within the first 24 hours after surgery. If so, with the supervision of physical therapist, patient will sit on the edge of the bed and stand with support. Walking, however, will be approached gradually and carefully to avoid injury and complications. Try not to overdo it the first few times patient get up and walk. Nurse will check the circulation and motion of leg and feet. Patient may be given a spirometer to help expand lungs and prevent pneumonia. Surgical tape, sutures or adhesive tape will have been used to close incisions. This dressing may be removed and changed. An ice pack or cooling pad may be used to help decrease swelling and increase comfort. It is common to continue intravenous fluids for the first 2 days. Patient may be given antibiotics through IV for the first 24 hours to help prevent infection. Pain medications will be available to help relieve any discomfort or pain. During the first 24 hours after surgery, patient probably be given pain medication that are injected into IV line or directly into the arm. These medications are usually much stronger and faster acting than pills taken by mouth. Physiotherapist will work with patient to begin moving safely in bed and up to a sitting position. Patient will gradually progress to standing and walking. Patient may require the use of walking aid, that may be cane or walker, for a short time. He or she may suggest exercises to relieve soreness in patient's leg, such as tightening and releasing thigh, buttock muscles and pumping ankle, back and forth to keep fluid from pooling in the lower limb and help prevent blood clots. On day 2, by second day in the hospital after spine surgery, patient may expect IV lines may be removed. If have a urinary catheter, that may also be removed. Patient will probably continue use spirometer to help prevent pneumonia, and wound dressings may be removed or changed. Medications, it is natural to feel some pain during the first few days after spine surgery. The pain can usually be controlled with medication, so by day 2, patient will begin switching from medication given through injection or IV to pills that can be taken by mouth. It is important to continue doing exercises that have been prescribed by physiotherapists to help improve motion and keep muscles from getting sore and tight. Ice packs may be applied before and after therapy to reduce swelling and relieve pain. With assistance from therapist, patient will gradually increase the distance walking in preparation for going home. Now day 3 and beyond, wound dressings will be changed if needed or may removed. Physical therapy will continue to focus on safety with mobility. with the goal of enabling patient to be independent. In spite of any mild discomfort, it is important that patient do deep breathing exercises or other exercises as instructed. Breathing and moving well will help improve patient's lung capacity and circulation and may help heal faster. Patient will be able to return home when doctor feels that medical condition is stable. Patient may be instructed to limit your activities for a period of time to give body a chance to heal. As patient prepare to leave the hospital, be sure to follow the instructions given by a healthcare team. Thank you.